principles of open source, but also in the long-standing traditions of Amish communities and tinkering communities throughout all time, sharing technologies with each other freely. Thomas Jefferson wrote a lot about open source principles. He wrote, when I share knowledge with you, I light your taper without diminishing mine, about sharing the brightness of a good idea. And he also wrote that if you have the means to do so, that you should invest in innovation, new practices, new plants, new cultural practices, biological, mechanical. He didn't have electronic, but he would have done it with electronics. And then share freely what you learn, and then begin a correspondence with those that you share with. So it's essentially iterate, open source, and move forward. So again, using the metaphors of the seed and the simplest way that we can share what we're learning. So FarmHack evolved as this kind of both in-person meetups, usually not in the city, usually only 40 people, on farms and in grange halls, and then in partnership with universities, bringing together farmers, engineers, designers, computer program Arduinoids, and then also old-timer people who don't use the computer, fabricators, the old guy down the road who helped pull your tractor out of a ditch once. Those are many times the most valued allies of farmers, young farmers, are conventional, chemical-dependent old-timers. So they're also a part of this community. And then also the online community with forums around each tool with a discussion, the tool having certain kind of people who are maintaining it, people who are working together for a solution and then iterating, documenting the tool fully with CAD drawings and videos and instructions, etc., etc., etc. So some are simple. Again, some are mechanical hacks to tractors so that you can grow, for instance, more diversity of vegetables on your farm with less equipment that you've rebuilt that's from the 1950s or 30s. So equipment that you're building for the purpose of a viable farm business and that you're building for the purpose of sustainable land management. So that's a very different technological trajectory than the trajectory defined by DuPont, agribusiness, Monsanto, etc., who have really, in the last 50 years, do we already saw the big tractors? Yeah, well anyway, that's where the technology's been going in farming. Obviously you know that. Okay. So the in-person and online is the big thing I'm getting across, and that this is really an opportunity together here to become oriented to some of the places and people in the city who are thinking through the issues particular to the city, around soil, around using all this waste product of all this waste food, reclaiming urban blighted places for productive community food security and resilience, building skills that would be applicable post-Sandy, would be applicable in a rural place. But then ultimately my goal is to convince you, some of you, to be part of a team, with farmers, to be in real relationship with innovation, and real relationship with sharing, to come to one of these events in the countryside, but also to just consider yourself part of this farming community and this part of this farming movement, through barter, through friendship, through teamwork. We need you a lot, and we'd love to feed you. So that's that. And now I'm talking long. I'm sorry. And you're all gonna now listen to the wonderful words of these ladies. Do you want to say who you are?